I don't know where we went wrong with you, Mom sighed, looking at my studio apartment. She walked straight to my kitchen table and ran her finger across it, checking for dust. Mom always did this when she visited because it was her way of proving I was failing at life. She said, "Your sister just became the youngest VP at her firm. 90,000 salary at 26. She opened my refrigerator and shook her head at the leftovers. Your brother bought his second rental property last month. Meanwhile, you're 28 eating 3-day-old Chinese food," she said. I just kept quiet while she listed everything wrong with my life. I'd learned that defending myself only made these visits longer and more painful. "Still doing that computer thing?" she asked, making air quotes with her fingers. What Mom didn't know was that 2 years ago, I'd sold software I created to a logistics company for $2 million. It was boring trucking software that nobody would brag about at dinner parties, but trucking companies needed it badly. I didn't buy a fancy car or a mansion like people expected. Instead, I bought a small apartment building through a property company I named after my grandmother's maiden name. My sister actually lived in one of my buildings downtown. She paid $1,800 a month in rent that went straight to my company. She was always bragging about her apartment with the doorman and rooftop access, but she had no idea I owned the whole building. My brother's firm rented 2 floors in my commercial building across town. His corner office that Mom loved posting photos of was in my building, and I'd literally signed his lease renewal last week. After expenses, I made about $12,000 profit every month from all the properties. My family had no idea about any of this. I lived in this studio because I liked keeping things simple and small. The next morning, Mom called a family meeting at my sister's apartment. She called it an intervention, and I knew this was going to be bad. "He needs our help. Real guidance," Mom announced to my siblings like I was a lost cause. My sister immediately pulled out her phone. "My friend needs someone for data entry. 15 an hour, but it's a start," she said. My brother offered. He could live with me, sleep on my couch until he saves up. They talked about my future like I wasn't even sitting there. Community college came up first, then entry-level jobs, then moving back home with Mom. Mom said, "You need structure. A real 9 to 5. My sister nodded eagerly. "And a savings account. I can teach you about investing," she said. "First, he needs income. I know someone in our mailroom. 12 an hour, but great benefits," my brother corrected. "Maybe we could co-sign a car loan so he can get to a real job," Mom suggested. They spent 40 minutes planning how to fix my broken life. Trade schools got mentioned several times. Night classes came up too. Someone even suggested food stamps at one point. My sister actually pulled up job listings and started reading them out loud to everyone. "This one's perfect. No experience required," she said excitedly. I sat there in my own building while they planned out my minimum wage future. When I came back from getting more coffee, they were complaining about their landlord. "My rent just went up $150. Same management company as always though," my sister complained. My brother asked, "Which company?" "Something with my grandmother's maiden name. They own half of downtown," she said. My brother got excited suddenly. "That company owns our office building. My boss has been trying to meet the owner for 2 years. Wants to negotiate our lease," he said. My sister laughed at that. "Good luck. Nobody knows who owns it. They say it's some young person who made money in tech." Mom scoffed at the idea. "Probably inherited it. These kids today think they're geniuses because they got lucky once," she said. My brother pulled up his phone. "Actually, my boss researched them. The owner started with 1 building 2 years ago. Now they have 6 properties worth over 12 million, he said. 12 million? My sister whispered. "And they're completely anonymous. Only communicate through lawyers and managers," my brother continued. Mom shook her head in disgust. "Making millions while real people work real jobs. It's shameful," she said. "I'd kill to meet them. Imagine learning from someone that successful," my sister said. Mom laughed bitterly. "Successful? They're probably some spoiled brat who got lucky with computers, not like people who work their whole lives." That comment really stung because my own mother thought what I did was shameful. My phone rang right then. I didn't recognize the number, but I answered it anyway. The voice said clearly, "Is this the owner? This is regarding your counteroffer on the downtown property." The room went completely dead silent. My brother just stared at me with his mouth open. "Did he just say owner?" my sister whispered. I said, "Call me back," and hung up the phone. Everyone was still staring at me. My brother looked like he was going to be sick. "You're the owner," he said. It wasn't even a question. Mom's mouth opened, but nothing came out for several seconds. My sister was counting on her fingers and then gasped when she figured it out. I said, "The trucking software, 2 years ago." "But you live in a studio," Mom managed to say. "By choice," I said.